Praise be to God, children. Good morning. Today we are moving on to the second part of our fifth chapter. So from the very beginning, we were learning about what is church, then the growth and development of the church, then the difficulties that the church had to face, that is the persecutions. Then we learned about the fathers of the church and protectors of faith. And now it's our duty to learn about the church in India in detail. So we are into it. In the first part of this chapter, you have learned about two apostles who came to India, and one among them had also resided in Kerala also. And it was Saint Thomas. Then Saint Bartholomew, he came to India and preached the gospel. He preached the word of the God in Mumbai and its surrounding places. Then we saw about the influence of the Persian church in India. How did the cultures or how did the beliefs in the Persian church affect Indian church? Then we saw about the Kanaya church. In AD 345, a group of 400 people from Cana, including a bishop named Mar Joseph, and some of the priests and deacons under the leadership of a famous trader known as Thomas, migrated to India. Since they came from Cana, they were later known to be as Kanaya. And they also have a Malayalam name, that is Tekkumbagakar, because Tek, that is the southern part. They resided in the southern part of Kodungallur. That is why they are known as like that. And later a separate diocese itself was established for them, and that is our present Kottayam diocese. So here we saw about the establishment of Kottayam diocese. Then you have learned about the church in Kollam. There I had given you an assignment. Do you remember that? I had asked you to find out the name of the book written by Jordan Catalonia. So have you sent it to your teacher? It was clearly in your textbook, and the name of the book was Description of Miracles. And what was that book about? It was about the Christians of Kollam. So note down the name Description of Miracles by Jordan Catalonia, describing about the Christians of Kollam. Now, our next topic is Franciscans in India. Pope Alexander VI exhorted Christians to take up universal evangelization. And even our Jesus Christ had talked about universal evangelization, not to a particular place, right? Following this, missionaries went to eastern and western regions. Missionaries from Spain went to the western regions. Portuguese missionaries traveled to eastern region. So, eastern regions include in India. Vasco da Gama discovered a new sea route from Europe to India, and he landed in Calicut on 1498 May 20. You might have learned in history also about Vasco da Gama, right? Christians gave a grand reception to Vasco da Gama when he landed in Kerala a second time, because in the first time they don't know, right, who he is. But when he came second time, he got a great reception. The Christian leaders declared that the king of Portuguese will be their king also. See, the Christian leaders are totally moved by their work, and that is why they declared the king of Portuguese as their king itself. The Portuguese, under the leadership of Vasco da Gama, held talks with the administrators of Kollam, and as a result, the Christians who were imprisoned were released. Goa was the center of missionary activity of the Portuguese. As a result of active evangelization, a diocese was formed in Goa. See, the Portuguese people mainly resided in Goa, and that is why a diocese itself was established there. The Bishop of Goa was called the Patriarch of the East. He had authority over the entire Eastern Church. With the coming of Portuguese, Franciscan, Augustines, Dominicans and Jesuit missionaries started to arrive in India from west. Missionary activities gained momentum in the beginning of 16th century. In 1541, Vincent Lagos, Who was that? He was a Franciscan missionary, erected a seminary at Kodingalur for the young men of Syro-Malabar Rite. In 1518, Franciscans established a center called Santa Antonio in Kochi. So please note down that name, Santa Antonio. It was established by Franciscans. See, we were talking about the missionary works of Franciscans. So in 1518, Franciscans established a center called Santa Antonio in Kochi. These bear witness to missionary activities of the Franciscans. See, that was the main center of their missionary activities. Also, kindly note the name. In 1541, Vincent Lagos, he was a Franciscan missionary and he also erected a seminary at Kodingalur. That too in Syro-Malabar Rite. Now, next is the beginning of Kochi Diocese. So, we saw about the establishment of Kottayam Diocese, Kollam Diocese, Goa Diocese. Now, Kochi Diocese. Kochi Diocese was established as a parallel diocese of Goa on February 4, 1557. See, it was difficult, right? The whole part of Kerala and all other places were totally controlled by Goa. It was not easy because we don't have such kind of mass media during that time. So, it was difficult. So, a parallel diocese of Goa was established. So, Kochi Diocese was established as a parallel diocese of Goa. The coastal region from Bengal, the whole of South India, Ceylon and Burma were a part of Kochi Diocese. See, even Ceylon, the present day Sri Lanka, Burma, that is the present day Myanmar, also were a part of Kochi Diocese. Kochi Diocese was the first diocese in Kerala and the second diocese in India. See, which is the first diocese? It was the Kochi Diocese, established under Pastoral. The Kerala Church received the permanent recognition and support of Rome with the establishment of Kochi Diocese. See, since Kochi Diocese was our first diocese, only after the establishment of Kochi Diocese we gained a correct, proper recognition from Rome. Because as I already mentioned, there was no such communication. So we had a really great communication gap. Just letters or something can only be a connective part. So here, after the establishment of Kochi Diocese, it was much easy to connect with the Oriental Church. The region from Kannur to Kanyakumari and from Bengal to Tamil Nadu came under Kochi Diocese. See, when you hear about Kochi Diocese, it is not like present day. It included from Kannur to Kanyakumari and Bengal to Tamil Nadu. So now you can just understand how vast it was. And you might also understand why it had Goa Diocese had to create a parallel diocese, because Goa had to control a larger area. Right? So children, that's all for today. We learned a very small topic today about the Franciscans in India and also about the beginning of Kochi Diocese. So kindly go through your text, and I always tell you, be close with Jesus Christ. Don't forget to attend the Holy Masses on Sundays and other days of obligation. And also don't forget to read the Bible at least for 2 minutes. Okay, it can do wonders in your life, and be close with Jesus. Thank you.